we gotta do.
Alrighty, so your characters have all been updated. A couple of new things. I put Bismarck's new spell on there, and with both you and Ruth going to power level 3, it gives you more spells per day for each of the spells that you have.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I have a new section called Creatures for Trevor.
Yeah, that way
Sounds
you
like a political party.
yeah. That way, if you decide to use your animal shape spell, there's some ready-made tokens and stats ready to go. Figured it was the easiest way to do things.
What do we got there? We got a bear. Can't quite see what the other one is. Is that a human? And then a badger, and then a squirrel or something.
Yeah. The way the spell works is you just decide whether you want to be a large animal, a medium animal, a small animal, or a tiny animal.
Okay, medium's a dog. Sorry, I increased the token size.
Yeah. The stats are all the same, but with the spell, if you choose... I'm going to find the spells here. So if you take a small or tiny animal, you can also make it a climber, a flyer, or a swimmer.
Nice.
So, and then the tokens are just generic animals. Like, you don't have to be a dog if you take a media or a small animal. You could be, a cat or a badger or whatever.
Stats are going to be the same, though.
The stats are the same across the board.
And just small gives me the bonuses.
Small or tiny.
Right.
You basically get to choose another movement form. For Sif and Thagor, your new combat expertise means when you attack, you can either choose to do an extra d6 of damage, or you can make another attack against a different opponent.
Just immediately in the same round?
It has to be during the same round, but it doesn't have to be, like, if you're taking a fast turn, you could wait for something to move within range, for example, or whatever. Just before the end of the round, you can take your second attack.
Cool.
The extra, if you decide to just do the extra d6 damage, it's not coded in, so you'll have to roll that separate.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello. Is the... Oh yeah, there it is. Found it under my talents. Oh, my healing rate's up. My damage is up. My insanity's gone. I take it that Bismarck is... Thank you. You say I take it Bismarck's saying kind things to us?
Bismarck is relying on his arcane arts to cure you of your insanity.
That's a relief.
Wouldn't want to have to rely on anything like actual compassion.
Just fake it, it's fine.
Therapies for losers. We had a lot of insanity, I only cast it 4 times.
Oh, yeah.
It took a week to put us back together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the last adventure was a little rough on your sanity and stability.
Yeah. That's what happens when you walk through something's digestive tract, apparently.
So this
Apparently it rattles the nerves.
so this particular adventure will be more of a standard fantasy adventure, and any demon intestines will be inside the demons.
Excellent. Not us inside the... That's good.
Well, if you end up inside the demon's intestines, you won't be in any position to actually explore it.
That's a relief, actually. I would prefer it, I think. I think Sif would rather be dead than do that again.
So it's been a couple of weeks since your last adventure. The winter, there's no signs of the winter abating. It is about a week past when it should be spring, and the weather is still frigid. The snow is still falling. There's absolutely no sign that spring is in any way, shape, or form coming. One of the big downsides to Bazzoxan is it is reliant on the dwarves for coal and for ore for their industry. They are primarily a smelting city. So without the raw materials from the dwarves, everything in the city kind of grinds to a halt. There's no money changing hands, so people don't necessarily have the means to trade for what they need. There's no coal for people to heat their houses with and everything. It's starting to get bad, and the longer this winter goes on, the worse it's going to be. Thagor had heard that the nearby dwarves had basically sealed off their city to outsiders. The city of Dungalir has basically closed its borders. It's not allowing anybody in or out. So the thought was to go and see what's up with them. Thagor, you would know that that Dungalir, it's about 20 miles to the north of Bazzoxan in the mountains. But it is very rugged, mountainy terrain. And the snow and the weather is definitely not making things easier.
For you.
So Ruth is like, yeah, not a problem. Walks on top of the snow like Legolas. But yeah.
Down here, get your feet wet with the rest of us.
So what would ordinarily be like a 1-day journey to the Dwarven city is more likely to take you 3 or 4 days, and that's assuming that you don't run into anything untoward.
Wow. All right. And I suppose we have to stop and sleep and eat and
Get wound up, all that sort of thing.
yeah, all those obnoxious things.
Is it customary to bring something to gain entrance to the city under better circumstances?
Customarily, if you're part of like a diplomatic envoy, then you're expected to bring like some sort of gift from your homeland. If you're there to trade, then you're simply there to trade. If you're there like one dwarf visiting another, then the doors are supposed to be open for you.
Okay.
But you guys have managed to secure some cold weather gear, some tents, things of that nature. And at first light on a bristling cold morning, you guys set off into the mountains. And
I'll change into a wolf just to try this stuff out. Oh, do I have to cast this? Is there a limited number of times I can cast this?
yes, it's a second level spell, so you can cast it once a day.
Yeah, well, then I'm not going to do it right now. And does it last a minute like everything else does?
No, it lasts for an hour.
Okay, well, then I will not change into any animal yet. Let's not waste it.
And I will get somebody to give me... Actually, somebody can roll me just a d20. You do have a navigator. So it's a d20 with 1 bane. Somebody can roll that for me. Whoever would like to be navigating. Just slash R space 1d6.
Oh, 7 with a bane. Ugh.
Okay, you're muted, by the way.
Sorry, 5.
Okay.
So bad.
So you set off into the mountains, and at the base of the mountains, there's this very, very thick fog. Almost like the cloud cover is super, super low. And it is very, very rough going. The fog is so thick that for Sif and Ruth, you can't actually see your feet. So you're like kind of stumbling over rocks and everything.
That explains why I get us lost.
The folks that are a little bit closer to the ground have a slightly easier time. But yeah, you guys travel for a good long while until the fog finally starts to clear, and you've definitely made progress. You're definitely up in the mountains. You're not entirely sure if you're headed in the right direction or not.
Trudging through the snow actually becomes better when you start tunneling.
So there's like this very wide kind of tunnel through the snow from Thagor that the people can kind of follow. But it's a hard go, and by the time it rolls around to like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the evening, you guys are pretty damn exhausted. I will get everybody to give me a strength roll.
Strength roll.
Is this natural?
You are okay.
Yeah, I should be okay. And I can tell when the fog's going to go away. I can predict the weather up to 24 hours.
Yes. You're looking, and this fog, it's thicker than it has any right to be. You anticipate that as you get higher into the mountains, it'll start to dissipate, but you're not entirely sure. There's something a little just off enough about it that you're not 100% certain when it will thin out, but you do know that as you get higher into the mountains, it will thin out.
Okay.
So my clockwork form ignores difficult terrain.
Oh, then you're good.
Okay. Spider legs.
You guys are all good. Apparently, with Thagor's breaking of the trail, you guys you're tired by the time it's time to start looking for a place to set up camp, but you're not exhausted. You're not, struggling to keep your eyes open. So there's plenty of time to gather what kindling you can, get a little bit of a fire going, get some hot tea or something going, something to warm up your insides. Get your like cold weather tents pitched, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it is bitingly cold. It's like,
Is it colder now than it was when we left?
yes.
Is it colder because we're higher in the air? Is it colder because we're getting closer to something that's causing cold? Or can I tell?
You can't tell, but Ruth can tell that this cold, it's a simple cold snap. It'll probably break in a day or two.
Right? Clear a spot, set up the tent, bury the tent.
So yeah, you guys all managed to get a little bit of a wind break. One of you outdoorsy people can give me an intellect check with. Actually, I'll assume all three of you are doing it. All three of the outdoorsy people. So let's call it. Somebody give me an intellect check with 4 boons.
Just one of us?
Okay.
Yeah, one of you make the roll. Whoever's Got the
Maybe
hest.
maybe one of you who knows how to roll dice, because I obviously don't.
Okay. My intellect's a +0, so who's got the best intellect of us? So
Mine's
if we
a
got
plus
4
two.
boons, we should be all right.
Mine's a +2.
Well, roll
Are
again
you
then.
willing to go with my dice curse?
Yeah, I'm willing to go with your dice curse.
Okay.
I relieve you of your dice curse this one particular time.
I appreciate.
I'll give you a
that.
little prayer. Give you a +5.
There you go.
The worst you can do is 6. Worst you can do is 8 now.
Oh God. And you said 4 boons?
5 now.
5 total.
Oh, holy cow! See how badly I boned this one.
I bet you'll break 20.
Hey, 27,
See?
and one of those was the 20.
The problem is, no matter how many boons you have, you can only keep the highest one.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you only
Yeah, they don't add it. Yeah.
yeah, you only keep the highest. But obviously rolling more means a better chance of getting like a 5 or a 6.
For sure.
So yeah, between Thagor and Sif and Ruth, you guys managed to get a very very comfortable little camp set up. Out of the wind, bank some snow for a snow break. Kind of like build a little bit of a wall to reflect the heat from the fire towards the tents. You know, all of those like wood crafting type things that some of your party knows exceptionally well. As the night approaches, are you guys setting watches or are you all going to sleep?
Of course, we gotta set up watch.
Yeah, Bismarck doesn't have to sleep anyway. So.
Okay. So is everybody else sleeping and leaving Bismarck on watch, or?
Bismarck's pretty good with being our watch person. Watch.
Thagor will
creature.
take a watch. He'll take first watch.
Yeah, I'll take a watch too. I think Bismarck should always be on watch, but
Someone else's.
we're out in the
backup.
wilderness. I'm a druidy. I would like to take a watch. Not that
I'll
I don't
stay
trust
up-
Bismarck.
I'll stay up late then, chatting with Thagor about teasing him about us taking us home to meet his parents.
Do you have a sweetheart? Is she cute?
All those family things.
I don't
We're
think I'm
supposed to
from
bring
around here.
something.
No, I don't
Oh.
think so. No. These aren't my dwarves. They're just dwarves.
Just
Maybe we'll
But,
hook you up.
I mean, of course, all dwarves know each other. No, they don't. They really don't.
Watch, the first person we meet there will know you.
Maybe.
Alrighty. So if Thagor's taking second watch or first watch, who's on second watch?
I'll take sec.
All right. So between Bismarck and Ruth, both of you guys give me perception checks.
Who's doing perception? Bismarck and Thagor?
Bismarck and Ruth.
Haha.
Thank you, Dorsey type.
I have a +2 perception too, so that was a real good roll.
Wow.
Once again, this game hates when you guys roll dice.
I got a 21.
That means you get to see it. You'll go insane first.
Great, he's in his shell again.
So as the two of you are sitting around the fire, kind of keeping your eyes open for anything, Bismarck, out of the corner of your eye, you do see. Oh, here. Out of the corner of your eye, through like the trees, you see movement. With the 21, they look like they're probably they're very sleek, low to the ground, and you see like tawny colored fur.
Oh, okay. Ruth,
Yes, sir.
I'm fairly certain that out there towards that direction there, just where I'm pointing with my tail, there are animals. They don't look friendly, and I expect they're coming to eat us. Maybe you should go speak with them and ask them to maybe perhaps leave us alone, or should I just shoot them?
Well, wake up the others, and I will take a look at these.
So give me another perception check, this time with we'll say 2 boons. One because you're actively looking, and another because Bismarck pointed them out.
There we go.
So yeah, you kind of look and kind of like at the very edges of the fire, moving in through the trees. You see 3 very large, very long-toothed cats, and they definitely look hungry.
Well, we can't feed them with a troll, and they don't eat robots.
And they look like they're kind of spreading out around the camp, and as they move, as you watch them, you can tell that these are not healthy animals. These are animals that are definitely famished.
I don't think I have any speak to animal abilities.
While they're spreading out, Bismarck will go to the tents and wake everybody up quietly, not like with a big scream, but like, hey, Dagor, time to get up. Saber-tooth tigers. Sif, come on.
What do they want?
What? What?
They want dwarf food.
Cold. Curl up.
They want kibble.
Who wants kibble? What?
Saber-tooth tigers want kibble out there.
Sybil looks at Ruth like she's speaking another language that doesn't make any sense and gets up.
That's the proper reaction, I think.
Yep.
So yeah, as you guys look, you can tell like they're being very stealthy, but having like Bismarck and Ruth point them out, they're definitely kind of like prowling around, probably looking for the best avenue of attack.
Oh, well, we should maybe gather together closely, so when they do come, we're at least back to back, and you are all in front.
Is our fire still going?
Yes.
Excellent. I would like to pick up or light a branch. Something, wrist size that I can hold out in front of me like a torch.
Okay.
I mean, if we have time, I'm going to cast Arcane Armor on myself.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely have time. It looks like they're kind of like to Ruth. It looks like they're sizing up the prey, as it were.
All right. If I need to, I will take time to put my armor on.
I'm going to turn into a grizzly bear. Actually, polar bear. It's snowy. It's cold.
I'm gonna get bundled up in what armor I have.
Right. So as Ruth transforms into this very, very large bear,
I'll
That
say.
that is when they take the opportunity to pounce.
How well can we see in this little clearing that we're in?
Well, once they pounce out, you can see quite well.
Okay.
But they pounce on Ruth, so each of them attacks twice.
Wow.
Does Stegor have his armor ready?
Yes.
Okay. Because otherwise, he's still in his tent.
So the first one.
I don't have any attacks with the large animal here. I don't know if I'm supposed to.
Never
mind. Attack options. I see it now.
Yep.
It works.
Okay, so
Ugly bag of mostly hit points.
what's the defense on the bear?
I don't know if this bear is better than Ruth is normally.
So yeah, they pounce on you. That's gonna be a lot.
Do I still have my abilities as a when I'm in my normal shape?
You can't cast spells because you need to be able to speak to cast spells.
Okay. Well, I do like having all this extra hit points.
I'm sure they'll go away soon.
Yep, this round.
Ooh,
That is going to be a total of 28 damage.
Petty cash.
So, so yeah, as this bear materializes, kind of during the transitional phase, they pounce. They basically they sense the between the size of it and the fact that they're so hungry, they just pounce on it like teeth tearing chunks out of this bear, claws raking it. It is a tremendous amount of animal on animal violence.
For the record, that leaves me with 18 left, so I can't take another hit like that.
Well, I think that was 3 hits, right?
But Ruth in a normal form would have been damn near murked.
It was a total of 4 hits that landed.
Oh, I see.
So everybody can decide if they would like to be fast or slow.
Yeah, definitely going fast on that one.
Yeah,
We
for
still
sure.
have so we still have a Ruth at the end.
Okay. So that would be everybody except for Bismarck and Jinx.
I'm gonna try to shoot at least one of them with my arrows.
Okay.
With my longbow. Where I have hunt prey.
Yep.
Just reading through it here.
So you can use an action or a triggered action on your turn to mark something as your prey, and then you get boons to track it or to attack it.
Excellent. I will mark this one. I don't know if I can. There we go.
Okay.
I'll mark that one as my prey.
Okay.
And is it just... Oh, attack roll also gets a boon. Okay. So I get a boon on this one?
Yep.
Excellent. Oh, so close to being a good roll. I'm guessing it's got more than a 10.
It does. It is fast, and it kind of dodges out of the way at the last moment.
Oh.
So that will leave us with Ruth, Thagor, and Bismarck. No, Bismarck's on still.
Sorry, had to get the phone. That was Frank. He's interested in doing a Call of Cthulhu game for us on Saturday night.
Oh, awesome. I will get in touch with them then.
Yeah.
I have a quick question. For combat expertise, do I have to succeed in my attack to get the second attack?
No, you either say, I'm going to do extra damage with this attack, or I'm going to attack twice.
Okay.
I think I will attack twice with the... No, I have to attack 2 separate targets, don't
It does have to be 2 separate targets.
I? In that case, I will try to hit this one very hard.
Okay.
And miss.
All right.
We're off to a great start.
I'm glad I didn't throw anything really bad at you guys right off. That will bring us to Ruth.
Let's give it a good swat.
That will hit.
Yeah. Damage is 2d6.
Yeah, if you just click it in the chat box, it'll roll it for you.
Don't see a damage option in the chat box. So, oh. Not for mine, so I'll just roll 2d6.
Okay. So, okay, which one did you swat?
If there's one wounded, I'll do that one.
None of them have been wounded yet.
I'll just pick. Well, they're both on me, so I'll just pick one. Let's pick the largest one.
Okay. Right, their turn. Oh, they can't pounce again. Oof.
Here we go.
Yikes. Oh, Ruth. It's been nice knowing you.
That is another 13 damage. These things are just like tearing, and there's like bear blood splattering everywhere.
Well, I was down to 12, so that is Ruth down.
All right, so your bear form goes away.
Oh no.
I went over by 1.
And you have 1 point of damage.
All right, that was worth.
But they do look terribly confused now because they were hoping to like kill and eat a bear. Bismarck, you're up.
Sticks and twigs don't taste as good as bear does.
I was going to heal the bear, but I guess I don't need to now.
Good news, the bear is fully healed.
Okay, I'm going to move. Is there flanks in this?
Yeah, if you can get into a flanking position, you get and receive a boon.
And if I move one more, he gets an attack, right?
Correct. Ooh, good damage from Jinx. So Jinx like just lines up a shot, fires an arrow right into the hindquarters of one of these emaciated cats. Yeah, if you move out of what it can attack, then it would get an attack of opportunity against you.
Okay, so I can move here.
Yep.
I'll just stab it.
Ooh, that is definitely a hit.
Good lord.
Well, it's a hit.
I did more damage than the rest of y'all.
All right. Jinx will take her second attack.
That's a relief.
Yep, we're knocking them dead.
Better than vice versa.
All right. Was Sif taking a second attack, or was she doing extra damage?
I would like to take a second attack.
Okay.
It'll be the same one that I had marked before, so the one down
Okay.
here.
It actually you have to attack a different one.
Oh, okay then. I will attack the other one that's right next to Ruth then,
Okay.
near Thagor. And I will again try to shoot it. I don't get a boon though on this one, correct?
Correct.
Excellent. Well, not really, but yikes. So bad. Someday I'll roll above a 10.
Someday. All right. So these cats are they're momentarily confused because the bear that they were eating has basically disappeared on them. So I'm going to basically say that they are impaired for the round, which gives them a boon on anything or a bane on anything that they do.
So I will bear spirit Thagor as soon as I can.
Okay. All right. Ruth, Sif, and Thagor are all on fast actions. So Sif, you go, or Ruth, you summon the bear spirit. It inhabits Thagor. It's like a warm, toasty feeling you're quite used to by this point.
Yeah, thank you. See if we can hit something. 16.
That is a hit. And so the extra d6 as well.
$14 damages.
Right. So you bring your are you using your axe? Your warhammer.
Hammer.
So you bring the hammer down and you like cave in a couple of its ribs. It is it's limping and it looks like it's probably about ready to turn and run. It's very, very hungry, but it's also been very, very badly hurt.
Now you've got some room to catch up, Bismarck.
That leaves us with Sif.
Yeah. I'm going to try to hit the one just south of me.
Okay.
The one that I had marked.
Okay.
Which means I get a boon on it.
Yep. Are you doing the extra damage or making 2 attacks?
I'll take the second shot.
Okay.
And hope that I hit something. Hey, 17.
Okay, so that hits that first one.
Yay. For 9.
All right.
Not a ton of damage, but some at least.
And do you want to take your second shot now, or do you want to wait?
I might as well take it now.
Okay.
And it'll be on that one over by Thagor.
Okay.
Let's see if we can get him out of the way as quickly as possible. Although not with that roll. I need to start investing in like a Fletcher who can just follow me around and make more arrows because I am going through them.
Okay. That one is going to try to limp away. So Thagor and Ruth, if you like, you can use a triggered action to attack it.
Sure.
I don't see why I need to kill it, but go ahead, Thagor. It's just hungry.
15.
15 is just enough to hit it.
All right.
Not hungry anymore.
Yeah, we're vengeful and spiteful, so
One less mouth to feed is one less mouth to feed.
Ooh, 19 more.
All right, that is a hit.
wow.
That drops it.
2 for flinching.
This one is just instinctively going to wheel around to attack what attacked it.
Triggered action.
Okay.
I think celerity is my favorite spell. That's it.
Right, that will bring us to Bismarck and Jinx.
Jake's might as well go first.
She will try to shoot the wounded one using her trickery. Nope. Not today.
Not today.
Bismarck.
I don't want to waste a giant spell on these guys. The wounded one, I'll put 7 damage into.
So yeah, so these arcane bolts just fly off into it, smacking it. It looks dazed and confused. And everybody can decide if they'd like to be fast or slow. They are going to turn their attention to Ruth, who's there by herself.
That's just rude.
Ruth and Sif, you guys are up.
I'm gonna try shooting that one I had marked again.
Yeah.
Maybe one of these times I'll be able to do something decent to it. I'm going to try doing extra damage this time.
Okay.
Only works if I hit it, so
That is very true.
maybe not.
I'll try crossbow.
Okay.
The innocent squirrel population is dramatically decreased.
I also miss.
You do. All right, their turn. They are going to. Okay. That one is going to try to run. It is badly wounded as well. That is going to be a 17 against Ruth.
17 damage?
17 to hit.
Oh yeah, that's definitely hits.
So this one that's staying around swipes at it with your claw. Its claw and basically tears across your midsection to some degree.
Okay.
And oh, did we miss Thagor? Thagor was on slow.
Yes,
Sorry about that.
no worries. I'll go and attack that one.
Okay. $17 is a hit.
Oh, 11 damage.
Alrighty. So yeah, both of these look like one of them is already like limping away, and the other one that Thagor and Ruth are currently facing looks like it's about to. You guys are putting up way more of a fight than they anticipated. And everybody can decide if they would like to be fast or slow.
I'll stay fast.
Me too, for all the difference it's making.
Okay. That is everybody except for Bismarck and Jix.
You people who actually hit things can go first.
Right.
Which one is that? Is that?
Not me, that's all I know.
Not me either.
Yeah. I was doing fine till you guys jinxed me.
Sorry.
Right. So the one that was facing Ruth and Thagor does turn to run if either of you would like to use a triggered action to attack it.
Sounds great.
Okay.
Nope.
Getting closer.
Just swinging the misses out. That's all.
There we go. So yeah, the two badly wounded large cats basically run off into the forest.
I don't mind that at all.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably good.
As long as they're not taking, massive amounts of our flesh along with them, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast that healing on myself.
Okay.
Actually, I have a talent, so maybe I'll use Savage Recovery.
Alrighty. But yeah, as you as you look at these, the one that you have, the one that Thagor killed, like it doesn't just look hungry. Like looking at it, it looks starved. It looks like it's wasting away. Which indicates that perhaps prey is not as plentiful as it was originally. Especially
Yeah.
like it's not like these sorts of animals to attack a camp. They might attack like a lone hunter or a couple of people lost in the woods, but for them to like attack a camp with a fire going means they've been pushed to desperation.
That goes along with what I've noticed, though, about the winter being long and the animals being hungrier than usual.
Yes.
A touch aggressive.
Yep. Now there's one less to be hungry and aggressive.
Hmm.
Let's leave it there for them to eat.
I'm gonna trudge through the snow and see if I can find any of my arrows.
You can recover half of them.
Round down or round up?
Round down.
Okay.
So Sif recovers arrows. There's like one stuck into like the main pole of the tent. There's another one stuck into a tree over there. Not a ton actually on target.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Have you thought about carrying more than one quiver?
I need, how other people will have like a herald or a scribe or something that goes with them. I think I need a Fletcher just to come along with me. They can craft arrows while I'm busy shooting them at the sky or trees.
I don't know. Artisans are expensive. In my experience, you find someone who will do it for cheap, and you call them your squire.
Ah,
That way, you don't have to pay them as much.
oh, is that how it works?
In my experience, yeah.
Oh, I'm going to use I'm tired and cold as my excuse. And I think I would like to go back to bed.
Yeah, seems fair.
The rest of the night passes uneventfully. Assuming you guys drag the carcass away from your camp for a little bit. It will get eaten at some point during the evening, but nothing else comes to bother your encampment.
Yeah, I'll make sure it's far away enough that nothing bothers us.
And as dawn breaks, it is actually starting to warm up a little.
That's good.
And then as you guys look, like the fog has dissipated some, and you have no idea at all where you are, other than in the mountains.
Damn it.
Like you would think like the road between the Dwarven city and Bazilzan, there would be a road. Trade happens frequently. You don't see any signs of a road.
Didn't you say yesterday we were following a road?
Thought we were following something.
Maybe I can. Can I still see stars?
I'll say that it's early enough in the morning that there's still some stars available.
Can I try to figure out where we are based on the stars?
I've got highwayman, tracker, and gatherer, so I got a lot of wilderness stuff. If that helps.
I'll say Bismarck can give me an intellect check with 1 boon. And that's the other boons you would have had are canceling out a bunch of banes.
It's awful cloudy, boys. Sorry.
I've got Prospector, if that helps.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're not sure. The only thing that you know for sure is that the Dwarven city, Dungolier is north of Bazilzan. You're not sure what direction you guys headed out from Bazilzan. You don't know. You're in the mountains, so you're in like the northern quadrant. But you don't know from here whether it's straight north, northeast, northwest. You're not sure.
Gotcha.
Well, I have no idea where we are. Maybe one of you guys can use your tricks, outdoorsy stuff, and figure it out. Or we could backtrack.
My time as a guide doesn't help at all.
That's part of what offset a bunch of beans when Bismarck was trying to figure out where you were.
Oh. Oh dear.
Oops.
So between all of the outdoorsy people, you can figure out which way is north.
That's a relief.
How difficult would it be to just follow our steps back to the point where we got lost and then try again?
You can try. You've got a couple of expert trackers with you, and Thagor did make a fair-sized swath through the snow as you guys traveled. So it hasn't had a chance to like drift in fully yet. So you can I will get somebody can give me an intellect roll with we'll say either Ruth or Sif, because they're your actual trackers, can give me an intellect or a perception roll actually with 2 boons.
I'm good at perception.
Okay.
Thagor will concentrate his efforts on sniffing out minerals.
So yeah, so Ruth, you're fairly certain that you can lead everybody back the way you came. And
Back to
then
where we know we were.
back to where you know you were.
All right, well, let's do that.
So you guys spend the better part of a day backtracking. It's not any easier going, but at least it's one of those like kind of like overcast winter days where it's actually warmer than the sunny winter days. So for those of you that aren't trudging, hip deep through snow, it's actually fairly pleasant.
Good to know.
And probably around like late afternoon, you can see basically where you last, like your last known location, where you're like, okay, if we go like an hour that way, we will be at the city limits of Bazazan. So from here, if you guys would like to try to navigate, I will get somebody to give me a D20 roll with 1 Bane.
Someone else can do that this time.
I made my last 2, so that's probably mean
I
ready
will
for us
keep
to
my-
fail, right?
I will keep my cursed dice out of this.
So I will roll an intellect with a bane just because I have a +0 on that.
Okay.
That will give us the. Yeah, I figured that was coming.
All right, so you guys make your way back to Bazazan, and then it's like, okay, we went that way. We know that we had no idea where we were. This way, and you head out, and for a while you actually do follow a road. The fog has lifted from the previous day where it's warmed up some, so you can actually follow the road and make some better time in what is mostly the right direction as far as you can tell. It is the only road that leads from Bazazan up into the mountains. But as you travel, as you're getting on towards time when it's time to set up camp, you do see kind of down in a little valley what looks like a bunch of stones covered over with snow. And then as you look a little bit better, especially with Sif's keen senses, it looks like ruins. Snow covered, long, probably long vacated. But you've had some bad experience with like ruins in the past. Same time, it's
Just slightly.
at the same time it's getting awfully close to dark.
Well, it might be nice to have some solid. Are they? They're stone ruins.
Yeah, there.
Might be nice to have some solid walls at our backs. It would at least reflect some of the heat from the fire. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I mean, chances are good that, knowing us, something is likely to come out of the stonework itself, but
Well, if nothing else, I can see if there's any lingering magic in the area.
What's the question?
if we're going to camp out near these ruins, or push on and get away from them as quickly as possible.
I vote camp out. What's the worst that could happen?
Well, I
Oh,
wouldn't have said it was
dude.
too bad before, but now.
Now we're doomed. Why would you say that?
So you guys are making your way down towards the ruins?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we roll a -2. We got to find out what happens.
Right.
So as you make your way down down towards the ruins, Bismarck, since you cast your sense magic, you pick up a slight magical aura. You pick up kind of two. You pick up like a slight magical aura, kind of like all over the ruins, but there seems to be a stronger magical sense a little bit deeper in, probably within 5-6 yards of you, but deeper in.
Oh well, this very interesting. Let's maybe we need a little bit of light here before we go too far. Some of us can't see in the dark.
Give me a second.
Yes. Yes.
Not quite.
Light is always nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, probably like right at the kind of the edge of your sense magic, there is a much stronger magical aura. There's one permeating all the ruins around you. It's a much stronger one, almost directly straight ahead of you.
Can I make any heads or tails out of what it might represent?
Give me a perception check with a boon because of your study of magic. You're not exactly sure, but you can tell it is a different magical aura than the general one that's all over the ruins.
Ruth, you know anything about this? Is this one of your circles? I don't really get it.
Very good question. Is that a perception roll?
No, this is way too big to be like a druidic stone circle.
Nope, this looks like something more organized.
Well, there's something to the north that has some magic to it, of some sort. Probably something a lost treasure or a demon, somewhere in between those two things.
There's a lot of space between those two things.
I wanted to be truthful. I have no real idea, but I could go look.
Practically adjacent.
Oh dear.
Yeah, maybe you look.
I'll lead the way since I can trigger action to get out of the way.
All right. So as you make your way in, um, everybody can give me a perception check.
I have alertness. Do I have to add the boon for that?
No, it's already calculated in.
Okay.
You guys are like super perceptive. So yeah, it looks like this is the ruins. Definitely a building of some nature. You're gonna guess it may have been a very large tomb, possibly. Because you do see some grave markers on the ground. Absolutely ancient, like hundreds of years old. And Bismarck, just before your sense magic fades, you can make your way like so that you're standing like right near where that was. Seems you don't see anything, probably underground.
Well, do we want to maybe dig it up, see what it is?
I have no problem with that, but isn't that considered sacrilegious by you folk?
What is it that you want to dig up?
There's something of that very strong magic in the ground near where I'm standing, and I don't think we should have a camp in here unless we find out what it is.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It would be much better to know what it is before we camp down.
All right, Takor, you're very good at digging. Didn't you used to be a digger for profession?
Yeah, I suppose. Fine, I'll dig up your magic, but if it explodes, I'll be very upset.
Well, I'll put your arm back on. It's fine.
That doesn't. Mm,
I like it.
So Thagor gets to work, and he knows what he's doing when it comes to digging. And in fairly short order, your shovel chinks into something hard. You kind of
Ow.
dig around it a bit, and it is definitely a coffin.
Are you happy now?
But getting a little happier. Just let me see if I can determine if the magic is in the coffin or if the coffin itself is made.
why would someone have a coffin that's magic?
Well, it depends on what you want to keep in the coffin or out of the coffin.
I suppose.
Vampires.
I bet what they want to keep out of the coffin is
that.
robots.
Root doesn't have blood. She don't care.
The magical aura is much stronger and is coming from inside the coffin.
See, now we know it. The coffin itself is not magic, which is important because if we open it, the coffin probably will not explode. We may release whatever's inside, but perhaps it's a buried treasure.
All right.
Maybe it's valuable. Think of how much you could pay off your owner.
Well, yes. I mean, we're not being paid to go to the dwarves. He's going to be put next if I come back.
Very true.
Yeah, I'll open the coffin.
It's pretty easy to open. It's like I said, it's ancient. And inside there is a very, very, very dead individual. These like long rotted leather armor, a couple of like signet rings on the fingers that are still in perfect condition, and an absolutely immaculate longbow.
Wow, nice.
And that's where the magic's coming from.
The bow is where the magic is coming from.
Well, I wonder if it makes arrows every time you pull it, because that would be really nice.
That'd be very handy.
Obviously, the trick is to reach in and take the bow, and hopefully this thing stays sleeping. I don't sense any magic of it. The magic's only from the bow. So, if
Oh,
everyone's
I'm not reaching in there. I
All
do
right,
have.
you guys, you guys have this all under control. I'm gonna go start setting up camp.
I'll help him set up camp. You folks who don't have blood, and she'll kind of point at Bismarck and Ruth. If you would like to reach into the coffin, we will hear you if you scream for help.
Yeah. Sif, you fire the bow though, right?
I do.
You're our archer.
Well,
But I have no problem reaching in and grabbing the bow.
Theoretically, I'm your archer. I can make arrows fly. Whether they hit the target or not seems to be dependent a lot on how cold my fingers are. But-
You're an archer.
And archer. But I would happily use the bow,
I think I probably should study it.
depending on the type of magic.
All right. First of all, so Biz is going to pull out his mirror,
Okay.
and he's going to shine it in the face of this dead thing,
Okay.
just to see if anything happens.
Nothing.
That's a good sign. Put his mirror away, and he'll pick up the bow.
The bow is oddly warm to the touch.
All right. And
That is
we'll make up camp, and I'll spend some time trying to figure out what the fuck this thing is. Can I determine anything about this guy based on his signet rings or anything?
Heraldry! Use your heraldry!
That's what I'm saying.
There you go.
It's the baddest skill. It's the best skill in the whole game.
Sure. Make an intellect roll with 1 boon for your heraldry.
Excellent.
Yep, still dead.
Yeah, never fail one of these yet, boys. Just failed the first one. No, that's still.
You would guess some sort of minor noble. You would need to like research history books to actually pinpoint anything. But this is like literally hundreds of years old. So whoever he was, it's probably not relevant now. If this place where he's been buried has like fallen into such disrepair, obviously nobody cared enough about this this family or this noble line to do the upkeep or anything. So
All right, makes sense. I'll do what I can with the bow. Well, those signet rings, obviously, we'll take those too.
I'm not used to playing not a smarty pants character. This is weird.
meanwhile, Sif and Thagor, whereabouts are you guys setting up camp?
Do we want to go for the center It'll give us the most protection from the wind. It'll give us the most reflection of the heat.
Why
And
not?
theoretically, the most noise if anything decides to come and get us. Theoretically.
How high are these walls of rubble?
They vary from like just a foot or so and to like 5 or 6 feet. They vary widely.
I think we'd probably get more cover camping in the trees.
Really?
It's not often you hear a dwarf say that.
I'll look at him funny. Why?
Well, if it's going to be windy. These walls are pretty low.
How high did you say they were, Chris?
It varies anywhere from 1 feet to 6 feet, depending on which particular piece of stone.
Oh, whatever you guys think.
Thinking in the middle.
All right, fine.
Chris, if there's any horrible magic, it's likely to happen in the middle too, so. Bismarck and Ruth, what do you think? Jinx?
Well, they already said they found the magic thing.
Yeah, now we're just worried about cold and animals.
I mean, we could.
I think having any obstruction between us and whatever's out there during the night would be preferable, right? Even if the wall is small, something has to crawl over it.
More chance of it making noise. And if we can find enough wood, then we can maybe set up a couple of fires so that we have more light. Because in this stone circle, it's not like anything's going to burn down. Right?
Makes sense to me. I mean, that said, this is a burial tomb of some sort, so we're opting to camp the tomb as opposed to outside the tomb after we desecrated the tomb.
What could we possibly have offended by doing that? Okay, Sif's going to start setting up her tent.
Okay, whereabouts?
Right there.
Give me a perception check, Sif.
Am I getting a... Oh, I suppose it's already built in. How about 20? Never mind.
Okay. So as you're start setting up your tent, just out of the corner of the eye, you're pretty sure that your shadow on the stonework just moved without you.
Oh. I'll look around first to see if someone's moving a torch around the area that might account for it, and if not, I'll keep an eye on it as I continue setting up my tent.
Ooh. So as you do, this shadow just reaches out and this cold hand reaches through your body.
That's not good.
You take 6 points of damage.
Jesus. Okay.
Your health is reduced by 6.
Holy. I don't think I have a way of changing
and you gain a point of corruption.
Oh
Oh.
shit!
Oh, yikes. I'm going to point that out.
And roll a d20 for me.
Okay. I don't wanna.
So how about them trees?
Right.
4.
Okay.
It's not reassuring at all. S- I take it Sif can point out that something just touched her
Yeah,
and that it
you,
was her shadow? Okay.
yeah, you look as as you feel this coldness through your body, and more importantly, you feel like this blackness kind of enter into your heart and soul. And you look and you see a shadowy figure, but it's not up against the stone. It's like right there beside you. But it still looks two-dimensional and shadowy.
Sif's going to kind of freeze in place staring at it and say,
Give me a willpower check with a bait.
oh god, I'm just making all the wrong decisions. Oh, here comes the insanity. Oh. -2.
Oh. Oh.
Wow.
Don't you miss being in the cave of intestines?
The simpler times.
Oh my god. Oh dear. That's what happens when I roll a -2. Oh, that's so bad.
So yes, so you get a point of insanity.
Can Sif alert everyone else to this now?
Yes.
We can tell by the.
Oh man. Yeah, Sif starts trying to stammer Bismarck's name as she points at the shadowy thing that's standing near her.
Yeah, I don't know. My shadow started moving without me. And it reached into my chest. With a bunch of damn
You're muted.
I gotta shoot.
I know, I'm talking to Alex.
Oh, gotcha. All right. So what would you guys like to do after hearing this stammering, shrieking?
Come to her aid and kill the shadow.
Alrighty. So everybody can decide if they would like to be fast or slow.
All right, so we're being we're being attacked by a shadow.
There is a shadowy figure up around Sif.
All right.
So maybe badly justifying.
I'm good.
Alrighty. So I've got Bismarck and Thagor and the Shadow on fast actions. Oh, and Sif.
You should have me on fast action too.
There we go.
Like shadow, like person.
Yeah. Alrighty. So you guys are up.
I'm gonna try to blow this thing to bits to see if magic will work on it. So I'm going to target like a rock like here. And then does 3 of those.
So you're putting it on the other side so Sif doesn't get hit in the explosion.
Correct. Yeah.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
And it's agility checks, right?
Half damage on agility. Yeah.
So it's going to take half damage.
So 8.
Right. So yeah, so you launch your explosive darts at this rock. The rock gets vaporized, and it does look like the arcane force from your explosive darts do kind of punch some holes in this shadowy figure that quickly refill, but it does not seem to be as present as it was previously.
Okay.
All right, Ruth, Sif, and Thagor.
I'll let Ruth go first. Since she's all magic-y.
Thagor moves up.
Okay. Ruth.
I think I'm gonna try a crossbow bolt to see if that's have any effect at all.
Okay.
Nice.
You possibly connected with it. Go ahead and roll your damage. So you, for the first time in a long while, you actually mentioned like aim properly, release properly, all of the stuff you're supposed to do. The crossbow bolt largely passes through it.
Well,
Sif, you're up.
Yeah. I'm going to take a swing at it with my flail.
Okay.
Because it is way too close for me to try to hit with my arrows. I would undoubtedly miss. I am, however, going to mark it as my prey.
Okay.
Because I will absolutely take advantage of the fact that I got a boon on that. And I will do 2 strikes. No. There's only one of them, right?
Correct.
Okay, we'll do the extra damage then. Theoretically. So very theoretically. I'm guessing that a 9 misses.
A 9 does miss.
Yeah.
All right. So again, it reaches out with this like shadowy hand. And no effect. Jinx, you're up.
All right, so we're dealing with an animate shadow. The rock's been vaporized, you said?
Yeah. Bismarck basically launches explosive darts because he has to choose an object or a creature. He chose a rock and just blew it up, and some of the explosive stuff caught the shadow, and it seemed to affect it a pretty great deal.
Interesting. Okay.
But the crossbow bolt did not seem to be nearly as effective.
So magic dart, but is it not considered? We can't target it with magic dart itself.
You can. The explosive dart, because it explodes in a 1-yard radius, and he didn't want to catch Sif in it.
Gotcha. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but can't hurt to since I've got it to use it, and I can attack with a boon which then has stacking damage. So, that's not what I meant to do. Or do I not roll to cast it?
No, magic dart works just like magic missile.
I don't have magic missile.
Yeah, in D&D, it's like magic missile, just auto hits.
Okay, so I don't roll, so I don't get to do my boons.
Correct.
Ah, haha.
But it is a magical attack, so you can roll your damage for it. Okay. Again, it does seem to be susceptible to the arcane energies. The stuff that Jinx and Bismarck are flinging at it seemed to be much more effective than the crossbow bolt was. And Thegor and Sif, actually, since you guys are both in there, you see some more of these shadows peeling themselves off the wall.
Oh, good. There's more of them.
It's not good at all.
Next round, everybody can decide if they would like to be fast or slow.
We're not even going to make it to the dwarves.
No, probably not.
This game hates us so much.
Just the dice. The dice hate us for sure. Or
That's
at least
just
they hate
boundary.
me. Maybe.
If you ready an attack, Chris, do you interrupt or not?
Yes, you do, because you're like, when this happens, so if you're like, when it gets close to me, I take a swing at it, then that would
Okay.
interrupt. But if you're like, when it attacks me, I take a swing at it, then you have to wait for it to attack you.
All right, I will go fast and I'll ready an attack.
Right. So we have Bismarck, Sif, Thagor. So Thagor, you're like looking around, getting your weapon ready, judging for when it
Yep.
comes close. Okay.
Gonna measure one of these suckers for a hammer to the face.
Okay.
If only someone had a magic bow to shoot them with.
Sif and Bismarck.
I don't have the magic bow. Someone else is holding onto that right now.
Bismarck.
That
Bismarck.
seems like a poor fucking plan, doesn't it?
Magic boy can go before me.
Okay, Magic Boy is going to try something not optimal, but might work out. I'm going to use my scroll, my incantation of Sun Rays. Sun Rays sound like something good against
Okay.
shadows. Which I can't actually click on.
No. I didn't add it as a spell.
Okay, so that's will attack against their agility.
They have an agility of 14.
Oh, wow, I'm terrible at will. Okay, but it's still something shiny. It's 3, so I'll shoot one at each.
Okay.
And do I get a boon for magic?
First of all, it's a level 3 spell, so you do have to roll to cast it. That's an intellect roll to cast it. And you would get a boon on that.
Sunrays level 2, I think.
Oh, is it level 2? Then you're good. So yeah, I'll give you a boon for your study of magic.
Two hits with a -1. That's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
And they do how much? Sunrays do 1d6 and they become impaired for 1 round if they can see. That's terrible.
But
Okay.
not a -2.
So which 2 did you hit?
Oh, I was thinking left to right, say. So
Okay, perfect. All right. And they shriek and they recoil from this burning sun. They let out like this ungodly hissing sound. That will leave us with Sif.
Oh, Sif's going to try to take a swing at this one because it's her marked prey. Try being the operative word. Ooh, 20.
That is a hit.
Excellent. Does it do extra damage?
It triggers your extra damage, so you would get your d6 plus 2 plus a d6 plus a d6 plus a d6. So if you click
Okay, so after rolling these,
one more d6.
okay, if I click the extra damage button again, is that going to work?
Yeah, it should.
Hey, sweet. So, have 20 points.
Uh, So yeah, you swing your flail with everything
Yes!
you've got, and you don't think you actually connect anything, but it does dissipate.
It's really hard to tell.
That will bring us to Jinx and Ruth.
Since I'm moving slow, can I grab the bow from Bismarck?
Yes.
All right. I don't have any arrows, but I got crossbow bolts. Can I give that a shot?
I'll say you can, but you're going to be at let's call it 2 banes because crossbow bolts are much shorter and heftier than an arrow.
All right. Well, I'll
A
give it
big time.
I'll give it a prayer too, so that'll bring it down to 1.
Okay.
I'm due for a good roll. Nope.
That is not it. So yeah, it just the bolt it does not quite fit, but as you kind of notch it and draw it back, you can feel this satisfaction from the bow.
Nice. I'll go slow next time and try to grab some arrows.
Right, Jinx.
I'm gonna try an arrow shot this time.
Okay.
Also remind me I need to ask you to refill my arrows between adventures.
I thought I had.
You can click them up and down just like anything else.
I generally just fail and end up with going the wrong way.
I do too. I'm like, which way?
Okay, I got it. I got it up.
Okay. Oh, 25
many-
will definitely.
How many boons do I get on this one? I know I get at least, or how many? I know I get 2 because I leveled up the whatever I suppose it
yeah.
3.
So you get your base d6, and then you get a d6 for trickery, you get a d6 for backstab, and you get a d6 for dirty tricks. So it is a combined total of 4d6.
Well, so I roll and then roll additional.
So yes, roll the one that's there, and then 3 more.
That was sadly low, or sadly average.
But it does trigger your exploit opportunity, so you do get an entire other turn.
Yes.
And that is everybody, so they get to go.
Should I take my turn now or wait for them to go?
It's up to you. You just have to take it before the end of the round.
I'll hold it to be reactive.
So that one is in fact going to close with Thagor.
All right. Smack. Ooh, big money. No whammies.
So yeah, so all of that and then another d6.
16.
Seems like it would have been a very, very good hit if this thing was much more solid. You definitely dispersed a bunch of the shadow that just kind of felt like flickers away, but it's still up there in your face. But it is impaired from the sunbeam. Still going to be a 25.
Sure.
So that is going to be 4 damage. Your health drops by 6.
In addition to 4?
Yeah, you take 4 damage and your health drops by 6. And you gain a point of corruption.
So health drop by 6, is that like max health drop or?
Yes, because you've got a health stat and you've got a damage stat. When you're damaged, you count up with damage. When your damage equals or exceeds your health, you're incapacitated. So that's why your health dropping is bad, because it drops that maximum number down. And roll a d20 for me. Okay. That one is going to move to Sif. It really hates Bismarck, but it also senses no heat from Bismarck. That is going to be a 16 against Sif. That's it.
My defense is a 17.
All right, so it reaches out, but you're like, nope, and you kind of get the shield up between between you and it.
You've
Nope.
touched me before, not doing it again.
And everybody can decide if they would like to be fast or slow.
Slow.
Wait, no. Never mind, he's within reach. I'm back to fast.
Okay, so Bismarck, Sif, and Thagor.
I'm taking a swing at this one and marking him as my new prey.
Okay.
And I will try to do extra damage.
Okay.
Theoretically. 16?
16 is a hit, and 14 is a hit for Thagor.
All right, cool.
So I still do the extra d6, correct?
Yep.
Just one extra d6.
Yep.
Okay. So 13 damage.
They're both still around. They're starting to become more and more discorporated.
That's good. Discorporated is good.
18 damage, if it matters.
Okay, perfect, got it. So yeah, so their shadowy forms are largely tatters now, but they are still there.
We started a new round, didn't we?
We did.
Okay.
Bismarck is up.
And let's put 4 into one and 3 into the other.
So as these darts fling out into these shadowy creatures, they just kind of just disappear like smog.
That could have gone worse.
And it is eerily quiet.
All right. Does anybody need a quick heal?
I'm okay for now, despite being.
All right. Well, I'll hand you the bow anyway.
Oh. Okay.
And the bow feels very warm to the touch, and where you're actually wounded, you can feel this warmth from the bow starting to fill through your body.
Oh, this is strange.
And your healing rate goes up by 5.
Holy shit. Good lord. How long does that last?
As long as you have the bow.
Holy shit.
It actually goes up by your level.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I can't change that, so you'll have to. Ooh. Bismarck, did you figure out what this thing does? Because I'm
Really
feeling
have much
warm
time.
and kinda good, actually.
I'll do what I can to learn what it does and its origins and whatnot. It'll just take time.
I feel a lot better than I did. That's really strange.
But you and Tagore, you both look a little ashen. Maybe I can help with that.
Ashen. Yeah.
So I'll cast 2 cures, 1 for each, to remove the penalty to their health.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Because apparently I'm a cleric.
I am not a ranger, despite attempts.
And as these like remnants of shadow kind of fade from view, you can feel there's definitely something off about this place.
Igor, I'm beginning to think you were right.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Well, you don't want to camp right here.
I mean,
It
we
is-
might have eliminated everything. Maybe. This bow is really nice, though.
I think we should move along.
Yeah, I don't want those things creeping up on us in our sleep. Definitely not. Do you have any idea what they were?
I would speculate there's some sort of undead creature, a spirit of some sort, but I would need to do some study. Chris, do I know anything about these things?
Give me an intellect roll. I don't think you've made any specific study of different creature types, so.
No.
You've heard rumors that there are either spirits or minor demons tied to shadow. That's about it.
And shadow, demon, perhaps, spirit. It's hard to tell, really. It's not really my forte. So,
Okay.
but yes, I think we should not stay here. We should perhaps move them somewhere not here.
That does sound like
All
a
right, if you're sure.
fine idea.
And I vote Thagor gets to pick the next spot.
That might be for the best.
So you guys are moving on a little bit before setting up a camp?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So you do find a spot a little bit further along.
I would like to aim for a spot that you would declare to be nondescript.
Okay. Alrighty, and one of you outdoorsy types can give me a survival check with, it's like 4 boons, so intellect with 4 boons.
That's a Sif. Because she has
That's
a better
a
intellect.
fury. Let's see how badly I can do on this one. 17?
Okay, so yeah, you find a good nondescript area.
Does this look bland enough for everyone? This feels bland.
I definitely wouldn't describe it as cursed.
There
At least not yet.
no ruins, no grave markers, no graves to desecrate.
But no magic warming bow.
Through the night, assuming you set up the same watches,
Yeah.
the night is uneventful in your nondescript space.
Nicely done.
When you get up in the morning, Sif,
Yes.
you're like, I'm hungry. I'm kind of hungry. And then you notice it's not just you that's hungry. The bow is hungry.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Yep. It's a great place to
I
camp.
knew we were going to find a
That's-
vampire.
That's not great.
Would you like to loot the dead man's boots? They said. Well, yes, please.
Oh.
Give me. Double check.
Do I only sense it when I'm touching the bow? Or do I sense it when I'm not touching the bow as well?
No, you can feel it, and when you don't have the bow with you, you're like, I wonder if it's safe. I wonder if it's okay.
My hands are cold. I should really pick it up again.
Yes, and give me a willpower check.
Oh dear. I should have kept my mouth shut. Any boons or banes?
Nope.
If you're cold, they're cold. Bring them inside. Oh no! At least it's not a minus.
So, question: Who does Sif bed with?
I don't know.
That's kind of personal.
Like, do you guys have
Oh,
like?
right now.
Do you have one big tent, or do you have like 2 smaller tents?
Well, the image earlier looked like we had 2 smaller tents, or
That
2
seems
semi-large
fine.
tents. Sif really doesn't care who is sharing the tent with, as long as they don't snore.
Thagor snores.
Oh, damn it!
Ladies in the same tent, guys in the same tent, and wherever the robot wants to be.
Robot
So
so
that's-
fire.
I feel like Jinx and the robot combined make a normal person.
Perfect.
Because otherwise, it would be Thagor sleeping alone, and the rest of us crammed into one tent.
Thagor's oddly fine with this arrangement.
Jinx is probably sleeping outside anyway. Or sorry, not Jinx. Ruth is probably sleeping outside anyway.
So Sif, when you come to and you kind of like get up and you kind of grab the bow and you get this feeling of hunger.
Mm-hmm.
then you're like, nobody will miss Jinx.
Oh no. Oops.
It begins.
It begins indeed.
It's okay, Jinx. She'll never hit you.
That's right. That's the only benefit. You're perfectly safe.
Oh
Don't worry
no!
about it.
Once she turns evil, it will be 100%
Then I'm
hit
sure
rate.
my duck lace will change. My dice luck. There we go.
Jinx, give me a perception check.
I'll just apologize now.
Do I have any banes? Since I was probably asleep.
Yeah, we'll give you one. You're a rogue, so you're probably a pretty light sleeper.
The good news is I only have 17 arrows.
18.
So you know that feeling? It's that feeling you get when you're asleep, but you know somebody's watching you, and you kind of like peek your eye open, and you see somebody just staring at you.
Yep. I have experienced that in real life.
Oh.
Yeah, that would be me.
But it's not just that somebody's watching you. You actually see Sif like drawing the arrow back.
There's probably a yelp of surprise because this is a friend and a Jink out of the way.
Okay. Who's got the higher agility?
Probably me. I'm at 14.
Agility? Oh yeah, that would be her. I've only got a 12.
Okay. All right. So yes. So, Jinx, you get to go first. So you can get out of the way, out of the tent if you want, whichever.
Yeah. There's gonna be a sort of a squawk, and because this is my friend, and a dash out, and a dive out of the tent.
Okay. All right. Sif, you're up. Your prey just got away from you.
Oh dear.
I am legit entertained by this. So if Jinx dies, Jinx dies.
Well, I am apparently chasing her. And I'm assuming that I'm using my warm new bow.
Yes.
Yeah. Does it have the same stats as the current longbow that I'm carrying?
It does, except it gives you an automatic boon as well.
Oh. Well. If I marker as my prey, do I get 2 boons?
Yes.
Sorry.
No, this is hilarious. Do it.
Can I hit when it's our own party? How about a 22?
So yes, that will hit. And that will trigger the extra d6 as well.
The extra damage and the 2 extra dice.
Yep. So 19 damage.
19.
Oh Lord.
Well, I was gonna ask about pulling up, doing a reactive action, but she already rolled. Okay. So what happens when that's 3/4 of my health?
You're injured, but you're not incapacitated. All right. So Bismarck, you're outside because you're like on watch all the time. You see Jinx come running out of the tent, and then Sif just like Jason stalking out of the tent, and just like shoots Sif or shoots Jinx like in the back.
And Jinx was uncharacteristically loud in getting out of the tent.
Is it safe for Bismarck to assume there's something messed up with this bow?
Dude,
Quite probably,
something's
yes.
happening because I've never shot any one of you guys before.
All right, so can I run up behind Sif?
Probably. She's very focused right now.
Please?
Is a bow a half-sized object?
Yeah, it would be.
Against my better judgment, I am going to point out that I have alertness and can't be surprised.
I'm gonna blow it up.
I mean, blowing up a weapon makes sense even if you don't know that it's cursed because they can't use a blown up weapon.
Okay. All right. So Bismarck basically clampers up and like reaches out with his little pincher on the bow, and it just goes like, and just disintegrates into ash.
Ah!
What are you doing? Why are you shooting at Jinx?
Why did you destroy my bow?
A pointed Jinx laying on the ground with an arrow in her shoulder.
It's probably my lungs, let's be honest. It did 19 damage. I only have 25.
Chris, how is the emotional impact? Am I still under some kind of hungry sway?
Oh no, it was perfectly logical. The bow needed to be fed. There was a target right there.
It was hungry. It needed something. Did I shoot Jinx? I shot Jinx, didn't I?
Yes. Maybe we should go see if Jinx is okay, and maybe you should stay here. Maybe Ruth can go check on Jinx, and I will make sure that you behave. And if you don't behave, I'll stick you with my tail and do the same thing to you that I just did to that bow.
Meanwhile, Jinx's her lungs are filling with blood. It's fine.
That sounds fair.
I'll give a minor healing.
Okay.
But it was very hungry.
So you get half your healing rate back.
I am now at 16 damage out of 25.
I'm sorry.
I don't think that was you. I think that was the bow. I think it's broken. Yes, it's broken.
It very much is, yes.
Yes. So
Am I still feeling that creepy hunger?
Nope, you're fine.
Okay.
Your healing rate goes back down to normal, by the way.
Oh, pity.
I will mention after the Night's Rust as well, both Thagor and Sif, your point of corruption from the shadows goes away.
Oh, excellent.
Excellent. I feel much better.
Now that I'm not in the middle of being murdered, I'm just going to grab a snack real quick because
Okay.
I'm straight home. But I will be back in like 30 seconds.
Okay. So you guys can have some breakfast, pack up your camp. It's another warmer day. It's enough for Ruth to think that maybe it's just a late spring. It's probably just a late spring. It happens sometimes.
Finally found a nice bow and it was evil, huh?
Mm.
It wasn't evil. It just needs to eat.
I suppose I should take some blame for
Gosh, if only there was some way we could have known.
You don't need to rub it in, really. I feel horrible as it is. Ugh.
I mean, we could. Well, let's get to the doors, and then when we get to the doors, we'll make sure that there's plenty of ale, and ale makes all you people happy, so that will be better. Yes.
That's the best plan I've heard on this trip.
Assuming anyone knows the direction we're supposed to go, because it's not been great.
No, it hasn't really been great. Are we going in the right direction, Chris?
No. You are still following the road.
Okay,
Right.
that's
We
probably
don't leave the
good.
road. Follow the road.
So you guys set up following the road. And it's still slow going through the mountainous terrain. But after another 4 or 5 hours, the road leads through like a narrow mountain pass, like a valley through the mountains, and it comes to a big, solid metal door that you see easily, like a quarter of a mile off.
Pretty sure that's it.
How did we get lost on the road the first time?
The fog was so thick.
We ended up off the road.
It's like American Werewolf in London, you know. Stay on the road, stay off the moors.
Like,
We did it the other way around.
But yes, you've come to this very large metal door that the road ends at. There is no question at all in Thagor's mind that this is the doors to the Dwarven City.
Yeah, a big iron door in the mountainside really narrows it down.
Yeah, there probably aren't many other people doing that.
These doors are probably about 15 feet high and maybe 30 feet across, like double doors sort of thing. And they're just like set into the side of the mountain.
Right. Head that way.
And as you approach Thagor, it kind of draws your attention that there's no guards posted. There's nobody like up on the mountain shelves keeping watch on the pass. There's nobody around.
Not even the murder holes.
Not even the murder holes.
Oh, this is bad.
I'm so sorry, Jinx.
Did things get worse for me, or am I still just the same situation?
No,
I don't think it's worse
situation.
for you. It's worse for everybody. We
Uh,
got to the dwarves and nobody's home.
I'll also have used one use of my healing kit to patch myself up a little bit.
Okay.
That's half my healing rate.
Yes.
And am I still injured?
Once your maximum health is 25,
Yes, I'm at 13.
you are still injured.
All right.
I got a healing potion.
So do I if you need one.
Oh yeah, Sif can donate one.
Yeah.
If you think we can spare them, I'm usually a little bit harder than that to hit. Jinx is also pretty clearly in rough condition.
Well, we'll go see if the door is locked, and then I think we'll know for sure where we stand.
As you look at the door, there's no handle or anything on the outside. They are opened from the inside.
Right. Well, there must be a release somewhere.
Give me we'll call it a perception check. Everybody can give me the perception check. Thagor, you can make it with 2 boons.
Okay, doke. Ah, good.
I'm in a lot of pain. I don't notice.
Well, I did get a 10, but
I'm too busy worrying about Jinx to notice.
So yeah, as you look around, there's no release mechanism or anything. There is like a knocker type system so that you can let the folks inside know that you're there. Although normally that would be the guards' responsibility, but they're not here. But as you pull it in inside, you hear this echoing gong sound, and it just echoes. And there's no response.
I can get in, probably.
Shouldn't someone be on watch?
there should be several someone's on watch.
It's a bad sign.
Yes. But we've come quite a ways to turn back now.
Far too far.
Well, yes, and the ore and the coal from this hold is important for the city.
I just want to say, if we find a Balrog, I call shenanigans.
How can you get in, Ruth?
I can, if there's even the smallest crack or a lock or anything that lets air in or out, I can probably get through it.
I think one moment. I thought I took the knock spell. Huh, I guess I didn't. I'm sorry. I thought I had.
No worries. Well, if you think you can get in, Ruth, if it's been a few minutes, they probably aren't coming.
Well, the flowing form, the spell information on the foundry seems a little bit different than what I understood it to be. So maybe I can't. For the duration, you move through spaces occupied by other creatures regardless of their size. But in the past, I've used it to get through like keyholes and stuff. So I'm wondering if the foundry entry is wrong because that's what I always understood it to be.
Yeah.
When I took it anyway.
We'll say sure, just because that's fun now.
All right. Shall I go in? Okay, I'll go in.
We're not getting any warmer out here.
Be
I'll
careful.
go in, see what's on the other side.
On the other side, it opens up into like a large hallway. It is dark and it is chilly, and there is nobody around.
Is there anything I can do to open the door?
There are the opening mechanisms on the inside. So yeah, you can open the door from the inside.
All right. I will do so.
Thagor will talk you through it.
So yeah, but with some instruction from Thagor, you do manage to basically unlock and swing the door open. It swings surprisingly easy for a door its size.
Huh.
And it is, as you guys look, it is dark, and it is empty in this main chamber. I think you're muted.
Let's light a torch.
Yeah, Sif is going to look over at Thagor and kind of lean in. Shouldn't there be torches lit?
Oh yes, and people to light them.
I think they left town.
That doesn't seem right or likely.
And as Bismarck basically casts a light spell, as you guys light some torches and look around, you can see here and there's this sticky, viscous material, kind of like over here on a column, over there on a bench. It's like kind of pooling here and there.
like goo?
Like X dwarves or like green slime?
You'd actually have to get closer to take a look. This is just you see it kind of glinting in the torchlight.
I think
Who's
that's
our goo expert?
somebody inorganic, I hope.
All right. Well, it's unlikely to poison me, so Biz will go take a look.
So as you look at it, it's definitely it's like almost like a tar-like substance. It's like tacky and very, very viscous. And as you kind of like run it through your pinchers, it feels wrong. Like on a deep fundamental level.
Like the demon felt kind of deal.
Yes, like concentrated.
Oh, it's demon goo. Oh.
And you can give me an intellect
Sorry,
check.
what?
A what check?
Intellect.
I'm good at intellect. That's 12.
The 12. You're positive this isn't X-Dwarf. There's nothing organic about this at all. It is
It's like ectoplasm or something.
very similar, yes. And oh, yeah, sense magic.
Yeah.
In Soviet Russia, magic senses you.
I mean, last time I cast sense magic, it almost killed one of the party and cursed another one.
We're doing great.
Are we?
It's all according to plan.
Do me a favor, roll me a d6.
Five.
So yeah, so you cast your sense magic and you kind of like pulse out the magic, and it just fizzles.
The spell fizzles?
The spell just fizzles right out.
Did something counter it, or it just there's no magic here?
It seems like something absorbed the magical energy without manifesting the spell.
Well, I don't want to cast anything bigger. I'm going to try it again, but now that I know the effect, see if I can find out what's going on.
And roll a d6 again.
Same thing.
Same thing. It's like as you start to gather the arcane energies and focus them and focus your will, something just absorbs that energy.
Well, that's not very good. Jinx,
Yes.
this might be more your expertise than mine, but something's stealing the arcane energies I'm trying to summon here. Probably this ectoplasm. Does that make any sense to you at all?
I don't know. Can I do it? I guess an intellect to see if this makes me think of anything.
Sure.
Because I am a warlock.
Yes, you are.
$14.
With a 14, your understanding of the arcane is probably very different from Bismarck's and probably very different from Ruth's as well. As far as most warlocks are concerned, magic is tapping into the void and forming it in like a very small, minute way. The void is kind of the primordial chaos from which everything originated. If there's a conduit to the void here someplace, that could be where that energy is going.
Well, there's. I mean, I think I work with magic a little bit differently than you, but there could be a void conduit that's drawing it away.
Well, something like that would have to be very large, wouldn't it?
How much do I know about void conduits?
Practically nothing. It's something that you heard once.
Weren't you just talking about things that were supposed to be heralds of the void?
Oh, well, I mean, it's entirely likely that one of the heralds are here, which would explain why there's no dwarfs, which would explain why there's demonic goo, which would, I mean, if it's from the void and if there's a hole open, then, oh, if there's a hole open, we have to go close it.
So basically, in response to the "don't they have to be large," Jink just kind of shrugs, like, I don't know.
Well, I would suggest that no one touches any of this, and perhaps Thagor could lead us to where the throne room might be, or where the king might be, or the important
Sure.
room.
Some people, at least.
I will lead them deeper in.
So as you make your way through, and it is deathly quiet, unnaturally quiet. Like you're used to like a dwarven city being loud and boisterous with like the clanging of anvils and the shouting of voices, and this is just wrong.
Yeah, Thagor is probably as loud as possible. Like even louder than he normally moves.
Jinx is not being loud.
Neither is Sif. She's a little too creeped out by all this.
Thagor is just creeped out by the quiet. Place needs to be louder.
And you come in kind of like off of the main hall, the main entrance hall. Is the market area, for lack of a better term. This is where like the various blacksmiths and so on have their shop. When there's trade, this is where the traders come to. But it is in disarray, and there are bodies littering the floor.
Yeah, that's what I thought we'd find.
Well, that explains the quiet. Jinx, could you tell what killed these individuals?
I can take a look. So intellect roll, I assume, or perception.
Intellect roll with 2 boons for your various assorted things.
$17.
Okay. So at the 17, they look like they've been like that guy's been like cut deeply with a sword. That guy's had his like clavicle cut in by a battle axe. That guy looks like he's been bludgeoned by a flail. All various assorted weapon wounds. But as you're examining the body, you notice that none of them have eyes.
Oh, that's interesting. So one quick question about this, and this might also be, I might end up having to ask this to someone with more tactics. Do these seem like weapons that they may have been fighting amongst themselves? Like what they're holding?
Yeah, definitely.
So it looks very much like there was something set them all against each other.
It's possible.
All right. So it looks like they all, like all of them, everyone that I've looked at died in combat. I could be wrong, but it looks like they might have been perhaps possessed or driven crazy and fighting each other. I that's pure happenstance about the cause, but none of them have eyes, and the wounds
that's
all
cool.
this all seems like the wounds could have been inflicted by, they seem like they were all fighting with each other, so something caused it.
Right. I think we have two options. We can either find a cart and pack up as much iron and coal as we can and head the hell out of here. Or we can go deeper in and see if we can find the horrible, terrible thing that did this.
I and if I don't know if any of you are slightly better at tactics, want to try to confirm my guess about how they died, but I'm
Sure.
aren't we going to have to go in deeper anyway if we want to take supplies and pull it out?
Well, I mean, we're in the marketplace. So there's probably supplies laying around.
Well, if what's causing this is one of the heralds, that we have to prevent the end of the world. So,
What kind of role do I need for tactics, Chris?
Let's call it intelligence, and you can have a boon because of your study of warfare.
I'm also a trained squire.
We'll give you 2 boons.
Trained. Wow.
Yeah.
So your squire advice earlier was from a point of knowledge. Excellent.
Yep. Sure was.
So Thagor, should look. A few of these people definitely, died fighting, but a fair number of these look like they've been, axed in the back or things of that nature. You're not convinced that everybody that was here killed one another.
Yeah. All right.
But more importantly, as a dwarf, all of the folks you see here, they've got, like, some of them might have leather armor. That guy's got a short sword. These are all just like the common folk. None of these are warriors.
So some of them may have turned on each other, but not exclusively.
I don't suppose there's a way to know if they lost their eyes and went crazy, or went crazy and then lost their eyes afterwards.
Look for spoon marks.
That's probably a me check, I'm guessing.
Yes. Let's call that a perception with 2 boons.
Perhaps a particularly aggressive melon balling.
I'm guessing there's probably they're either my guesses are, before the results are, is probably some sort of they got melted, burned, or there's claw marks.
Neither. It looks like the eyes were removed with surgical precision.
Ew, interesting.
And definitely happened after they were dead.
Ah.
Well, I'm glad I brought my helmet.
So that is passed on. That these looked like they were. It was a deliberate removal post mortem.
Yeah, that's not great. But then again, I don't have eyes, so
And everybody give me a perception roll.
I got a good one. $16.
Okay, so Jinx, Ruth, and Sif. You guys notice over in this area this strange shimmer in the air, almost like a heat distortion.
Like to pull my
Wait.
bow.
What's that?
It doesn't look quite right. It's not a shadow though. Oh
If-
dear God.
If we
Ah,
if
And
we tried another sense magic and it fizzled, would we maybe be able to get a directional pull from it?
maybe, but as you guys are discussing and kind of going like, "Oh, what is that?" It kind of births these large, like 4 foot long, 2 foot thick, humanoid faced worm creatures,
like human slugs.
like human slugs.
Ish. Ew.
And they
Do we
start.
get a chance to act before we hit combat?
Yes, you see them basically. They just kind of get dumped out of this anomaly you guys saw, and then they kind of start like slimily inching their way towards you guys.
I would like to cast Arcane Shield.
Okay.
I bet that's one of them there fancy void holes.
Does anybody get dispel magic?
nope.
So basically, for the next minute, all attacks have a bane on me.
Okay. So what would you guys like to do? You can decide whether you would like to be fast or slow as these things start inching their way towards you.
I would like to try to shoot it. Or one of them anyway.
Okay.
I will mark that one as my prey
Okay.
and try to shoot it. Since there's so many though, I'm going to do the extra attack as opposed to the extra damage.
Okay.
Not that it's going to matter.
12 hits.
Oh,
These things are large and bulbous and slow.
okay. Yeah, 7 damage.
So it sinks into this like blubbery, wormy flesh, and it like shrieks horribly. And
Can I fire again right away?
yep, you just have to take your second attack sometime before the end of the round.
Okay. And that was it. This one, correct?
Yep.
Okay. I will take a shot at that one.
Okay.
Do I still get a boon on that? No, I don't.
Nope. Just everything that's innate.
Whew.
Okay. That definitely hit.
25 though is so extra damage. So 9?
So that arrow basically, as it kind of like opens its maw, you get the arrow in and like out the back, and it doesn't dissipate, but it is definitely badly wounded.
Okay.
Yeah, basically, I'm gonna let all of you guys go, and then we're gonna go into the actual initiative round because they are basically forming out of the void.
That's it for me.
Right. Anybody else like to do anything while they form?
I'm going to cast Arcane Armor.
Okay.
No, I'm not doing anything. I'll wait. Ready crossbow.
Okay. Thagor.
Thagor's gonna ready an attack for when they get close. All right, that's 18 damage on the first one.
That is so. Alrighty. So yeah, they kind of form and they start like moving towards you. They are very, very slow. And they're leaving like this kind of like mucusy trail behind them, but the stone underneath that mucusy trail is bubbling and hissing.
Right, don't step where they step. Gotcha.
And that will be everybody can decide whether they would like to be fast or slow.
Does it look like Does it look like they're taking in the fact that the fellow that approached me just got squashed, or are they
Not
still mindlessly trudging forward?
they are very mindful.
Right. I'm just gonna go fast. I'm gonna ready an attack.
Okay. So Bismarck, Ruth, Stiff.
Yes, going on fast.
Yep, you guys are up.
I'm going to Whoa! Try to shoot that one as my prey.
Okay. A 3 is barely a miss.
That was me, not her.
Yeah.
3 is barely a
A
miss?
3.
Wow.
Oh dear. Good to know. I will be doing 2 shots instead of 1. 20.
That will kill that one dead.
Excellent. I will then shoot at this one. Are my arrows dissolving, by the way?
No.
Okay.
Not
13?
yet.
13 is a hit.
Not yet. 10 damage.
Which one was that?
That was this one. Ooh. Excellent.
That will leave us with Bismarck. Dagger's ready. Okay.
Cast Spellbound Weapon.
Okay. It's everybody on fast. Jinx on slow actions.
Yeah. I'm gonna go the archery route as well.
Okay. 12 is a hit.
Yay. So additional 3d6.
Yep.
Add so I rolled 2 and then another 13.
Perfect. Which one?
Sorry, I actually can't see the map most of the time. Has the one in the back been untargeted so far?
Okay. That one splats.
Overkill.
Okay. One of them closes with you, Thagor.
All right. If it looks like there's 2 of them, can I attack each?
Yes.
Cool. Uh, 11 is my low roll.
Yep, both hit.
All right, cool. So the first one is 9 damage, and the second one is 5 damage, the lowest damage rolls in existence.
They actually get to go. So one of them is going to essentially vomit up this corrosive slime. One against Thagor and once against Ruth. I need both of you to give me agility checks. Oh, no, it is an agility attack roll. Against your agility.
So you don't need the check.
So that is a 12 against Thagor's agility. Oh, sorry, a 10 against Thagor's agility.
It's still enough.
And that's going to be a... so Thagor will take 7 points of damage from the acidic slime. And you guys can decide if you'd like to be fast or slow.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with fast.
Okay. So Ruth, Sif, and Thagor are up.
Well, I'll try the crossbow again.
Okay. Oh, that is a hit.
Yahoo!
Splurt. And Thagor and Sif.
All right, one left. Ooh, a mighty 7 did.
7 misses.
Okay.
I'll see if I can shoot it. I'll mark it as my prey. Eight.
8 hits.
Good job.
Thank you. I'll be doing 2 hits instead of 1. Yeah.
It dies. It had 1 hit point left.
Oh, okay.
Sweet. And on that note, I gotta head to the living room for work.
All right, Don. Thanks.
Yep, no worries. Take care, folks. Good
Cheers,
luck.
Don.
I'll pop back on when I can.
Yep.
I'll try not to kill you while you're gone.
I appreciate that.
I am, however, going to take a torch and try to find my arrows, if possible.
Yep, you can recover half of them.
Half of them? Okay, so they weren't dissolving.
No.
That's good.
But yeah, these slimy worm things, and once they're dispatched, they just kind of melt away into nothingness.
What were those? Other than
Well, I mean, all
Disgusting?
so far has pointed towards demons, so probably demons. If there's a herald here, which I would think there'd have to be to destroy an entire dwarven hold, then these are probably minions of some sort, lesser demons. I'm not a demonologist. Maybe I should, with all the demons around, study that up.
Is there still a shimmer spot?
No, it seems to have closed. And everybody give me perception checks.
Ooh.
nice. Wow.
This may be the only check everybody has made.
A 10 made it? Holy cow.
Yeah, challenge rolls are always 10 in this game.
Okay.
You guys hear some noise coming from it sounds like a rattling type noise.
Like a rattlesnake rattle.
No, more like a rattling of like metal on metal type of rattling.
Chains.
Somebody locked in a prison cell trying to shake the door and get her attention.
Maybe. Sif will start cautiously walking toward it.
Okay. When you get to about there, you see what appears to be a very, very young dwarf, probably no more than 20, doing his best to not be spotted.
Sif will crouch down and kind of hold the torch out a little bit. Hello?
You're an outsider.
Yes, but I came here with a dwarf.
Alex,
But since I speak Dwarvish, I will say it to him in Dwarvish.
ah. How'd you get in?
I'll kind of gesture vaguely back toward the rest of the party. We sort of let ourselves in. No one was standing guard.
The guards are dead.
We know that now, yes. But we were a bit disturbed that when we got here, no one was here to open the door.
It's because we don't want you here. Did you close the door behind you?
Sif will look back toward Ruth.
Ruth shrugs.
I'm not sure. I don't remember. We were, I sort of got a bit distracted by the, and I'll point to where some of the slug bodies had been. A bit distracted by the creatures that were here.
But that's not good. We need to go close the door. And he just like takes off running. Like
Be careful.
Towards the door.
Don't trip and fall.
He is surprisingly nimble for a dwarf.
Okay. Sif will go back toward everyone else.
Yeah, the rest of you just see like from that corner, you see like this very young dwarf, just like bolt back the way the door is.
He was concerned that we didn't close the door. Or might not have closed the door.
Yeah, maybe we should go speak with him.
Yes, so I'm sure he's probably going to come back. Probably. How far are we from the door, Chris?
You're probably like 10 minutes or so.
Okay.
But I mean, that was 10 minutes of moving fairly cautiously, picking your way over, the goop and things like that.
Yeah, and he's just kind of barreling his way through.
Yeah.
I'm a little concerned that he might step in some of that
Ectoplasm.
Sure. Ectoplasm.
I'm a little concerned he might break the door.
That too, yes. He said though that they didn't. The door. No one was watching, and the door was closed because they didn't want us here. I'm a bit concerned that no one was really here to want us here or not.
Well, maybe there's more survivors here than we thought there was.
Maybe he's not a dwarf.
Maybe we should go find out.
I think so. I don't really want to backtrack, but at the same time, I don't want him. If he isn't a dwarf, I would rather he didn't bring a legion of things to eat us either.
Yes, I agree. Let's go and track our friend and see what we can learn. It's the only source of information we have at this time.
He does seem to be the only one who isn't dead so far.
I don't know if I have anything that will
Did
help
the
here.
child seem to come from a hiding spot, or just like where did he appear from?
He was basically just kind of hiding, perhaps spying on you guys.
Fair enough. Can I check out the area where he was hiding?
Yes, absolutely you can. It looks like in his haste, he kind of dropped what looks like some of the smaller weapons and stuff that he might have scavenged from this battlefield. Like a couple of things of dried rations or water skin. Looks like he was scavenging supplies.
It looks. Look, if he's not a dwarf, he still needs. He's still in a precarious situation. He's definitely. It looks like he was probably collecting food and ways to defend himself. I don't know if any of you can track to see if he came where he came from.
Yeah, it's worth a try. And Sif, can you track him?
Try.
Give me a perception roll with just a straight up perception roll, because there would be a bane because of the cobblestone.
Wow. Not so much. Cobblestone doesn't hold a footprint terribly well.
Cobblestone does not hold a footprint very well.
No.
From far down the hallway, you hear like a thunk as the door closes.
Oh, I think we tracked him.
I meant where he might have come from before this, but if he's coming back, we can ask him.
Can I use perception to track that?
Yeah, you can give it a try.
I'll give a little prayer here too.
Okay.
By the way, now I can get when I give prayer to give somebody a boon on their attack. If you succeed in your attack, you roll an extra d6 damage.
That sounds very nice.
Whoa!
Yeah, the cobblestone is not giving up any track.
I rolled a 1.
Well, if he's coming to find us, then he'll come to find us. We might as well see if we can find the source of this problem. If it's a herald, we need to deal with it as soon as we possibly can.
Yeah, after a couple of minutes, he does come back. You can hear like the pitter patter of his feet. He's not making any attempts to be stealthy. But he does have as he approaches, he does have like a worried look on his face. He's kind of like looking around, kind of making sure that there's nothing behind him. It's like, okay. Oh, you're still here.
Can you explain what happened here?
I can, but not well. Darylane would be able to tell you better.
Who would that be?
She's my granny.
Well, could we speak with your granny?
I suppose. I mean, you're here now. So follow me.
All right.
Okay.
And he leads you through a series of hallways and everything does still looks empty and desolate. But every once in a while, you do see like a dead body over there and another one over there. Like it seems as you get away from the main entrance and into the area where the dwarves actually lived, you're starting to see corpses here and there. It's like my name's Lubbock, by the way.
Well, it's good to meet you. I'm Bismarck.
Well, I wouldn't say it's good to meet me because, well, you're here. But it's nice to meet you. How's that?
Sure. Whichever you prefer. Is there a problem with us being here?
It's better if Gran explains to you.
Right.
We just we sealed the doors to keep things out and to keep things in, and then the outside. I mean, you guys came in. So,
Do you happen to know what you're trying to keep in?
oh yes, yeah. It's yeah.
Let's go talk to Grandma.
And he does lead you. It's probably about a good like half-hour walk away from the main habitation areas and into what would be the suburbs if it was like a human city. And he leads you to this dark-looking building. He kind of like goes up to the door, gives it a little kind of like a secret code knock sort of thing. It's like, Gran, found some outsiders. And there's like this old dwarven voice like, outsiders, fucking kill them. There's more of them than there's of me. And the door opens and you're met by like a good half dozen or so heavily armed dwarves. And they've got their spears at the ready, and there's like this old dwarven lady's like, state your business right now.
Well, we're we're trying to determine why you closed off your doors. The poor human city is having difficulty with the ore or coal, and we believe that you may have a demon problem that we're particularly well suited to help you solve.
You're gonna fix a demon problem.
Yes, we are demon slayers. We have killed demons in the past.
Last time we let outsiders in, so we got in this mess.
Could you perhaps explain how that worked? The more information we have, the better we'll be, the better equipped we will be to track down and slay this particular problem.
Give me a willpower roll.
I don't know why we have Biz talking.
I don't know either.
Zero.
We should have Thagor talking.
Right. So the Gorm looks like, not interested in any help from the outside, thanks. And some of the Dwarven warriors kind of look at her. And then they do see Thagor. She kind of thinks for a second. Like, so you say you're here to stop a demon?
We'd certainly like to try.
Well, I'd rather you die in the process than any of mine.
Quite a few of yours already have.
Uh-huh. And I'd rather not waste a lot the rest of them. We've got shit to do.
We're traditionally hard to kill.
Are you? She looks at Thagor. She's like, fine, you guys can come in.
Won't be our first demon we killed.
Sure. And so you guys are led into what looks like it's an old smithy. And for Jinx and Bismarck, the reason it looks dark from the outside is there's some sort of illusion magic hiding the light source. So inside it is actually lit. There's a little bit of a fire going. It's the first time you guys have been actually warm in days. But the entire building, the outside of it is shrouded by an illusion.
Cool.
So what do you know about demons?
Have you ever heard of the Heralds?
Nope.
Don't suppose you watch the stars very much.
I saw the stars once when I was a very young girl.
Right. Sif, do you want to explain what we know about demons or Jinx or Ruth?
Someone who's better with magic might have a better grasp on it. Ruth, I think.
I got wilderness and animal stuff. I don't really have a lot of. I mean, I can make my intellect. Ruth's intellect is nothing special. She's a tracker. She knows animals and she knows plants. That's basically what she's got.
So it's Bismarck then.
Uh-huh.
I just don't want to be the only guy talk. And well, we're not demon experts per se, but we are particularly good at slaying demons. There are demons, greater demons that are known as the heralds, and they're represented by constellations in the sky, which obviously is not something that you're used to observing. But when the heralds disappeared, some time ago, the constellations disappeared, representing their presence here on Earth. And by slaying these demons, we can return to the skies, which prevents the end of the world, essentially.
All right. When did this happen?
When did the heralds disappear?
Yes.
I give her the date.
So pretty close to a year ago.
Yeah. And we also know that the presence of a herald in a particular area increases the effect that they have. I have a hypothesis that the winter that is holding fast is because one of the heralds is somewhere in the area that's preventing winter from spring from coming.
I can confirm that the winter is unnaturally long. It's something's causing it. It's not just another long season.
It has been cold of late, but we've been otherwise occupied. About 10 months ago, maybe a little less, there was a trade caravan from Surface. Outsiders came. One of the female traders that was with them, a woman named Moradon. She caught the chief's eye. And very quickly by our standards, she had secured a place at his side. After that, he became cruel, became a despot. He began carrying out capital sentences on commoners for the smallest misdemeanor. And the nobility went along with him. They became increasingly vile and corrupt. Since her arrival, the nobles began hunting the commoners for sport. When we finally realized the source of the corruption was more than just outsiders, more than just dwarven xenophobia, it was too late. We sealed the doors to keep the corruption in, while we make plans to collapse the city.
Oh.
But since you're mighty demon slayers, perhaps you can save us the trouble.
So you believe that it's the nobility that or this woman, this Moradon, perhaps is the corrupting influence.
I have a out of character, I guess, memory question because Tegan has a shit memory. When we did the Huntsman Isle, how long removed had the hunting people from sport been?
That was 30 or 40 years.
Okay, so this is far more recent.
Far more recent. But oddly similar.
Jinx will make a quiet comment. Jinx is being generally quiet because, again, dwarves. She would rather not get the ire of dwarves that decide that goblins are the enemy. So whoever, I guess probably Sif, she'll probably say quietly to Sif, it sounds like the Huntsman's Isle.
A little bit.
So before she arrived, before she got her hooks into young Gel. He was tough, but he was reasonable. After her arrival, though, he became something else. There have been things in the tunnels that no dwarf should ever see.
Like?
Monsters with too many legs, too many eyes.
Yes.
And if you ask me, anything with more than 0 tentacles should not be in our tunnels.
I I would agree with the tentacles.
This city is cursed. Ever since the outsiders came.
I believe it's cursed because of the presence of a demon, probably one of these heralds.
Who came with the outsiders.
Perhaps. Before you destroy your city, however, I think it's something that we can, at the very least, investigate and perhaps put an end to. Restoring trade and allowing you to put your what do you call it? Place? Is it a fortress or a community?
City.
City. To put your city back together. The demon is extinguished, and the corruption that emanates from it will dissipate. The whole void holes will close. It's my understanding.
We're willing to let you try or die in the process.
Well, that's kind of you.
The question would be, where are the nobles now?
They are located in the city center. It is heavily defended.
Have you scouted it recently?
We tend to not go out any more than is necessary.
Only a hypothesis, but if the demon has run out of victims to kill with the commoners, they will likely start turning on themselves at some point.
Jinx is going to kind of tentatively ask, have there been any sort of green mists been noticed?
Not that we've noticed. And then one of the doors pipes up, like, I thought I saw something the last time we scouted the courtyard. One of the other doors is like, no, you didn't. I told you, I saw like, it's like a green, like a, what do they call it? Fog.
Yeah.
And before we met, and insert child's name because Tegan forgot it, we encountered there was a shimmering space and several creatures came out and attacked us. Has anyone else noticed them? And do they seem to be more frequent in certain areas?
We've had creatures. Darylyn will speak up. There are areas where the barrier between this world and the void are thin, and creatures can step through isn't right. Come through, I guess. But those areas seem to move. They're not in the same location.
Okay, thank you.
But and you can tell she's having a hard time actually phrasing this. She's like, we're glad for the assistance.
We'll do our best to clear it out.
And they will they will offer you some tea and some biscuits. They have like a lot of like rations and hardtack and the like. They have no actual like real food. And you can tell, like, you know, for a thriving city, if this is like the entirety of the resistance, it's like a dozen dwarves.
Oh my.
Chris, do I know who the heralds are?
You would need to have access to like a library to do some research, but the name Moradon does sound familiar.
Okay.
It's one of those things where it's like I know I've seen that actor before type of things. Like you know you've heard that name or read that name, and you just can't quite remember where.
Alrighty.
But yes, as the dwarves kind of welcome you in their begrudging fashion, I think we'll call it there.
Yeah, it is getting late, isn't it?
It is,
Mm.
and I don't think you guys are going to like storm a heavily guarded dwarven citadel with some demons and stuff in 7 minutes.
No, no.
Doesn't seem likely.
Does not seem probable.
I mean, we're gonna get lost twice on the way.
You may get
True
lost.
story.
Totally fair.
But yes, so we'll finish off this dwarven excavation next week.
Awesome.
Well,
All right. Thanks, Chris.
theoretically.
you.